Welcome back to the channel. This is video number 2 of a short series. The first video I did that I'll link to in the description was a video on how to solve these kind of systems using Desmos. I'm going to do the same exact matrices, but how to solve using a TI Nspire. So again, if you need to pause the video and write that system of equations down so you have the numbers, or you want to follow along, that is up to you. But if you need to pause the video, you can do so now. So again, we need to make sure that the systems are what I call lined up. You want to make sure that the x's and the y's and the z's are on the left-hand side and in order, and they're equal to whatever their individual solutions are. And then once we have that, we can write our augmented matrix. If you're already used to solving these things by hand, you know what this is from your Gaussian elimination process. But again, just make sure you're writing the numbers down correctly and kind of everything is correctly organized. So what we do is we take that and we get our Nspire out. And I'm just going to be on the scratch pad. You can go in and open up a new calculator document. That's personal preference. So we need to open up a matrix, right? And we can either call it matrix A, so we can use a letter, or we can just kind of do it all in one step in a way. So I'm going to do it in one step. So the first thing we need to do is this RREF thing. So RREF stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form. And so what we need to do, so we can type those 4 letters in, you'll see it turns into not italic, just normal letters. That tells you the calculator knows what it's doing. And then open up a parentheses, super important. And then you're going to come to the key right next to the 9 key. And we're going to choose a matrix, a 3x3 matrix. But when you choose that, it's going to ask you how many rows and columns you want. In this case, we want 3 and 4. Okay? So it's going to populate all those spaces. Now you just enter in those, you enter in your numbers. And I'm going to do that real quick here, so bear with me 1 second. And as you're typing it in, you want to make sure that you're not making any mistakes and not getting the case of the fat fingers, which I do all the time, as you did in the last video. So before you hit enter, again, REF parentheses, type in your matrix, double check your numbers, because one little tiny number or a missed sign or something like that can throw your answers completely off. Once you have it in there correctly, you just hit enter, and there you go. And those are going to be your solutions. Again, this means this first column is X, that's Y, that's Z. So that top row tells you right off the bat, X is equal to 1.75, Y is equal to 3.6, Z is equal to 0.95, and you're done. And that's all there is to it, okay? If you want to, here's a second example. The thing about this example, notice these equations are not in the correct order, right? So we need to kind of do some manipulation. If you see this top equation, I need to move the negative 2x to the left-hand side. I need to move the negative z to the left-hand side and write them in order. So that top line is going to be 2, +1, and 3. The second row is good. That's in order and everything else like that. So 1, 2, -2, -4, just the way it is. The third row is kind of okay. But they're just in the wrong order. So we just need to rearrange. No changing signs here because it's not going across an equal sign. So my bottom row would become 3, -1, 1, and 9. So to review the process one more time, on the calculator keypad, you can just hit the letters RREF. You'll know you got it because it turns bold. Open up parentheses. Don't forget the parentheses because if you don't, the calculator's not going to know what to do. You find the matrix on the key next to the 9 key. Hit that matrix key. That'll ask you, again, in this case it's 3 and 4. And you go typing in your numbers. So again, bear with me 1 second. we have that. Double check the numbers. I think they look good. Once you have them in there correctly, hit enter. And in this case, your answers are clean. So again, that top row, x equals 2, y equals -2, z equals 1, done and dusted. To be clear, like if you are supposed to do these things by hand, then do them by hand, but it's a good resource to check to make sure you got your answer correct, right? But make sure that you know how to do these things by hand as well. Last couple I'm going to show you, same way that I did on the Desmos video, just real fast. I'm not even going to show you the original problems. We're going to type in another matrix. I'm going to show you what it looks like as far as the special cases. So let's say we had a matrix that when we typed it in, the matrix looks like this. So we have 4, -4, 14, 4, 2, 0, 14, -0, -3, 1, and -10. And hit enter here, and notice what happens. That bottom row, all 0, 0, 0, 1, if you think about what that means 0 equals 1, which doesn't make any sense. So if you ever see this situation, these two rows here don't even matter. If you see 0, 0, 0 equal to 1, that means there are no solutions. Okay, this is an inconsistent system is what we would call it. The other special case, let's say you're doing one and the matrix comes out to be this. Let's see, got to get my matrix in there. So let's say it's 0, 0, -3, and 6. So let's say that turns out to be your matrix. And you hit enter here, and now you see my bottom row is all zeros. This is the other special case, right? These two rows, again, they just don't even matter. If you see all zeros in the bottom row, that's going to mean that there are an infinite number of solutions, what we call a dependent system. Okay? So just to recap from both videos, make sure when you see your initial system on your paper or on your assignment, make sure the x's and the y's and the z's are all equal to a number and they're lined up. When you type them in, when you go to type it into the calculator, if you're using an Nspire, type in the letters RREF, open parentheses. I'll do that one more time down here. So RREF, open a parentheses, the key next to the 9 key, choose your matrix, enter in your values, double check your values, and then just type in your answers, and then hit enter. And and your answer will be your solution set. So X, Y, Z, or in the special cases, no solutions or infinite solutions. Okay? Again, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Hope this helped you. If you know anybody else that needs some help solving these things on a calculator or Desmos, see either of the two videos that I published. And until next time, stay safe.